I think per year wanted to, well, we were a campus of maybe about 300, 400, 500 students. He felt that he could do better in Miami, draw more students to Miami. And that was maybe the reason why he wanted to come down this way. Now, I can remember one day that Dr. Collier had lunch with my fraternity brothers, me and my fraternity brothers. And one of them asked him, said, Dr. Collier, do you ever think that Florida Memorial will ever become a university? Dr. Collier said no, he didn't think it would. Well, it's written out that it is, it has been. I guess he didn't have any idea, because the campus was still growing, and he probably couldn't see that far down the line. We knew about the move, say maybe a year or two before it took place.
Okay.
And this was one reason why we asked him the question, did he ever think Florida Memorial would become a university? And during the summer of, I went to summer school in '68. I had to catch up with some hours that I needed in order to graduate on time. And part of that time during that summer, Dr. Collier got a bus, and a number of students were given a chance to ride on the bus to come to Miami. I was one of those, to see the campus and what it looked like. And Raymond Burr, the man who played Perry Mason, was one of the big sponsors of getting Florida Memorial to Miami. Somewhere in my archives at home, I have a picture of him walking on campus, a picture that I took of him with my little Brownie Instamatic. I've always been into taking pictures.
You gotta see it.
And so I have that picture somewhere. I don't know exactly where it is, on a negative somewhere. But he was instrumental in getting Florida Memorial to come down to Miami. And at the time, this picture was taken over there in front of the gym, or think about where the cafeteria, not the cafeteria, but where the auditorium is. And nothing but rocks, sand, some paved areas, but it had a lot of work to be done. But we came down during the summer of '68, and that was my senior year, my last year at Florida Memorial. I didn't want to come. I wanted to stay in St. Augustine because I really loved St. Augustine. It was a small, little, quaint campus, raggedy dorms, but I loved it. I loved those raggedy dorms and the coquina walls. I loved it. And I think a lot of other people did too. I never expressed this to anyone that I didn't want to come down. I think I kept that to myself. But I'm so happy that I did come down. And I enjoyed my last year at Florida Memorial. And that was more or less the reason why. I think this was something that he wanted to do. And not only that, but Edward Graham, he was also very instrumental in bringing the school down to Miami. He may have been one of the main reasons for the school coming down here. Raymond Burr was instrumental as well, but Reverend Graham definitely was instrumental in getting it to come down, because he wanted Florida Memorial here, because he was the head trustee of the school. And he taught me, because we would often see him in St. Augustine. He would leave Miami and come into St. Augustine, and he'd go to Dr. Collier in his office and walk around on campus. And at that time, I would imagine that's when they were planning the move to South Florida, okay? And it worked out well. It worked out very well, because like I said, a lot of people have gone through Florida Memorial and done well. A couple of years ago, there was a young lady who was an AKA, and she was studying science, and she went on to become a pediatrician. And there was another guy who was an Omega, who was studying science. He became a doctor as well. So there have been a lot of doctors and some lawyers and that sort of thing to come through Florida Memorial. And a lot of Florida Memorial is primarily a school where ministers went to school to study divinity. And a lot of them came through Florida Memorial and went on perhaps to get their masters in divinity. But there are a lot of things that are thrown in the mix to get Florida Memorial to South Florida. A lot of things. Dr. Graham, Raymond Burr, and a lot of other people. You cannot put your hand on just one thing, because all of it had to come together and work as one in order for it to work. And that's what happened. That's what happened.